Hello and welcome to this video. If you are new to this channel, this is always your go-to resource as far as career tips and job search strategies are concerned. Today, we are looking at a very crucial topic that can make or break your chances in an interview. And that is the top interview mistakes that Kenyans often make and how to avoid them. Because you realize that as a candidate, in the current competitive job market, knowing some of these mistakes or pitfalls and avoiding them is as important as preparing answers to potential interview questions. So whether you are applying for your dream job or you are looking to advance in your career, avoiding some of these mistakes or common errors can significantly improve your chances of success. I'll be highlighting 3 top common mistakes that candidates make, and I'll also be giving insights on how to avoid these mistakes. So let us dive in. Mistake number 1 is lack of preparation. I know we have been talking about this even in our previous videos, but we cannot overlook the aspect or the fact that as a candidate, you need to prepare for the interview that you have coming up. So this is a top common mistake. How can you not prepare, yet you know very well that you are going to engage with your potential employer to be able to sell yourself as a good fit for the role that they are onboarding for? So lack of preparation will make you as a candidate not to be able to ace your interview, hence you not being seen as a good fit. This is a very common mistake. Candidates will walk into an interview room, they have not taken time to do industry research on who the potential employer is. They have not taken time to analyze or study the job description, just to analyze how their skills and their competencies aligns for the role. They have not taken time even to assess the culture of the potential employer and see whether they'll be a good fit for that organization. So lack of preparation is a common mistake among many candidates in the current job market. And how do you avoid this mistake? Because that is what is important. Whether you are just starting your career, you are in your mid-level, or you are a seasoned professional, you have an upcoming interview that you have been scheduled for, you need to thoroughly do research on the company. Understand the potential employer. What are the services they are offering? What are the products they are offering? Who is their target market? For how long have they been in the industry? Who are their competitors? Is there anything that is currently trending or making headlines as far as the nature of operations or services they offer is concerned? So you need to do your industry research. And nowadays we don't have an excuse because all the information is available online. You only need to log into their website, you only need to check on their social media platforms, what are they frequently updating on, and that will inform more knowledge, in-depth knowledge that you need to have about who they are, their vision, their mission, their values, what they believe in, and package yourself as a good fit for an employee for them. Apart from just doing your industry research, you also need to understand the job description for the role you are going to be interviewed for. So this is where I always say, study that job description like an exam. Analyze the job summary or the job purpose as it is stated in the JD. Analyze the specific duties and responsibilities that are highlighted. In short, where are you getting the confidence that if given the opportunity, you can handle the responsibilities or the functions of the position you are going to be interviewed for? Do you exude the right personal attributes or qualities or soft skills that have been highlighted in the job description? How can you convince your potential employer or the interviewer that you are the right candidate for the job? So lack of preparation is a common mistake that if you are watching this video, you should work on avoiding based on the few highlights I have mentioned. Mistake number 2, this is equally very common in the current job market, and that is poor communication skills. During the interview, you're simply communicating or engaging with the interviewer. So you can't afford not to be able to communicate effectively. You can't afford not to be able to be very concise and clear in the message that you are conveying across, especially when you're giving answers or when you are responding to the interview question. Inability to just articulate your thoughts and respond clearly give relevant answers or showcase your track record of success becomes a challenge for most candidates during an interview. How do you avoid this common mistake? The two best strategies to avoid poor communication skills during an interview is number one, practice common interview questions. Very important. Be comfortable with answering commonly asked interview questions. Some of the commonly asked interview questions are always the introduction. Tell us about yourself. What makes you a good fit for this role? What are your salary expectations? What has been your greatest achievement, career achievement? What do you consider to be your professional weakness or strength? These are common questions that can cut across any industry, any level you are in your career. So be confident with responding to commonly asked interview questions. And for the competency-based interview questions like operational, behavioral interview questions, or even role-specific interview questions, there is always a framework that will help you to be very brief, precise, and to the point by addressing exactly what the interviewer wants to hear. For example, the common framework that works is the STAR model, where you address the situation, especially when you are giving an example to back up your knowledge of the role. The interviewer is keen on what was the situation that gave you the opportunity to handle a similar responsibility. What actions did you take to overcome, to solve, or to handle the situation? And what was the outcome? What was the result? So through that, you are able to be more coherent as you communicate with the interviewer, and you're able to articulate your thoughts in a more structured manner. Tip number 2 on how to avoid poor communication skills as a common mistake during an interview is to stay calm and collected. Very important. The truth of the matter is, interviews come with its own kind of pressure, anxiety, and nervousness, and therefore the tendency to just be overly nervous or anxious is very high because of the pressure that comes with interviews. So your goal is to ensure that you stay calm and collected. Believe you me, if you are not calm and collected, you may not be able to articulate your thoughts more coherently. Hence, you'll find yourself rambling and rambling and rambling and not making an impact or not addressing exactly what the interviewer wants to hear. So you need to ensure that you stay calm and collected during the interview. Take a moment to just think before you begin to respond or before you answer. Because those few seconds that you are taking a moment to think, you are collecting your thoughts, and the moment you begin now to speak out loud, the information is able to come out more clearly, and the interviewer can be able to pick exactly what they are keen on from your response. Mistake number 3, and this is the last one, very common in the current competitive job market, being done by most candidates during an interview, is neglecting a professional attire. If you've watched my previous video where we were addressing how to nail an online interview, I equally highlighted the need to ensure that you dress for the job, you dress for the interview, you look the part. So this is equally a common mistake among many candidates during an interview, neglecting professional attire. You realize that most candidates underestimate the power of just dressing appropriately or professionally for the job. And the example I keep giving is whether you're going to be interviewed for a field officer job where it is so obvious that from Monday to Monday you'll be putting on your jeans and sneakers, going to the field to meet with the community or the stakeholders. During the interview, you can't afford to dress the same way. You have to look the part. So dress for success. Dress to impress, because you will not have a second chance to make a great impression. And part of dressing also includes grooming. Pay attention to your personal grooming as a candidate, as a professional, because a neat appearance will always make a positive impression for the interviewers. In a nutshell, these are common mistakes that we do not expect candidates to continue making in the current competitive job market, because we have so many candidates who are equally competent enough, who have the same wealth of experience that you have. And therefore, as a candidate, your goal is to work on some of these pitfalls so that it increases your chances of landing your next interview. I believe this has come in handy for you, and we encourage you to interact or engage with us in the comment section. I'm looking forward to you even sharing some of the topics you would want us to discuss, and we will be glad to tackle them in our upcoming interviews. Thank you for watching.